battling crime, while other spies in the hit series Spooks get bumped off in nasty ways or mysteriously disappear. Harry Pierce, the man at the top, remains calm, in charge and, most importantly, alive.
Yes, indeed. Well, still fighting the war on terror. He leads his MI5 team in dealing with, excuse me, all sorts of devious plots. And in the new series, they're up against a deadly disease which is threatening London. We'll meet him, or rather the actor who plays him, Peter Firth, in just a moment. But first, let's have a quick look at tonight's programme.
How are you? I'm fine. Where's Esney?
In isolation. It's got about an hour, maybe less.
I've got to go now. What about these people? What's the estimated mortality rate?
Mortality's 94%. But over a limited number of infection cycles, virus goes off like a bomb, kills as many people as possible, then it quickly mutates.
Leaving the targeted area safe for invasion.
Adam, the average incubation period for this virus is 18 hours. You were infected 2 hours ago. No matter what happens today, in 12 hours, you will be on this quarantine ward. % of Greater London. That's in excess of 500,000 people dead inside a week.
Dramatic stuff. Well, Harry Pierce, Peter Firth is here now. Lovely to see you.
Likewise.
I think we should talk through. This is a very dramatic plot, but it's also quite complicated, isn't it? So I think we speak to you now and talk us through what exactly is happening.
Yes, well, they are very complicated plots. I mean, I struggle to keep abreast of them, actually, and I've read the script, with plots that twist, jive and lambarda simultaneously. I often wonder how an audience can keep track, actually. But then watching the rugby final at the weekend, which is equally impenetrable to me, I was reminded that 26 million people were watching and enjoying it. So if they can understand that, follow that, then an episode of Spooks will be fairly straightforward. So maybe it's just me.
It's basically Britain on the verge of a historic deal with Iran. Things start going wrong. You issue an order to actually blow up a train, which I thought was a bit naughty.
Actually, if I can just pull you up on that,
yes.
It's not me, it's the Home Secretary.
Okay.
And Harry Pierce, well, Harry Pierce is the tool of the state.
Yes, okay.
So,
right.
really, I'm not responsible. And in fact, that does come across. I think it's quite important.
You should be in the government, actually, with an attitude like... Anyway, moving on. But then there's that, and then there's this virus. This bloke with the virus arrives in London and starts infecting people, and that's where we pick up, and we're not quite sure who's responsible.
That's right. Yes. Tonight we pick up with the weaponised virus loose on the streets of London. In fact, we ended the last episode with the quote from Harry Pierce that after 3 years, a plague is loose on the streets of London.
Okay. And
we're looking at 500,000 deaths inside of a week. So there is a virus, there is a vaccine available somewhere, and the Spooks team have to find that vaccine this evening.
Yes, they're up against it, aren't they, time-wise? So let's have another look then at the programme. And here, Harry and the team are undertaking that high-risk strategy to just try to find out who has the vaccine.
What exactly is that?
It's blood, taken from the veins of a man who died earlier today.
What killed him is a weaponised virus. The virus is carried on the air in minute particles. It's called aerosol distribution.
You breathe it in, you die. Unless you've already been vaccinated or have ready access to the vaccine.
If you do this, my operation will track you down and kill you.
Then let's hope we both live long enough to be able to give it a try.
This is the guy who was so morally opposed to extraordinary rendition.
This isn't extraordinary rendition, Bob. This is kidnapping.
And torture. You were never much of a fan of that either.
We don't like to call it that these days, do we? Don't want to offend anyone.
Jesus Christ, Harry.
The vaccine, Bob. Because we're almost done here.
Harry, don't do this.
I think it's all very tense stuff. As part of it is my heart always beats fast when it's the music that adds to it, apart from, of course, extraordinary acting and tense plot lines. But
well said. I mean, plot does take second place, I think, to flair and style. And people often say to me, we love Spooks. Everybody in our house watches it. Nobody understands what's going on, but nobody leaves the room when it's on. You know,
Yeah.
and I think it's living proof that you don't need to dumb down television to make popular programmes.
There's an element more about it, isn't it? And I understand Little Bird tells me that they might be huge fans of the programme.
I'd heard that Little Bird too, yeah, that the cast of 24 actually love it. It plays as MI5 in the US, although after this series storyline, I'm not sure that it will go down quite so well in the United States.
You're a long-surviving member of the Spooks team, and virtually the only survivor. Have you been in it from the beginning?
I have, yes.
You're the only one who's still alive.
No, actually, there's one other actor who's in there who plays Malcolm.
Yeah.
And he's been with me the whole series.
Why is it that they get bumped off so quickly?
Well, why is it that you get to stay? Are you good friends with the scriptwriter?
No, most of them are much younger. Most of the actors are much younger, and of course they want to do interesting other work. They don't realise quite how tough it is out there, I think. But,
yeah.
So they're happy to move on. And it's a very powerful dramatic tool to kill your leading players, to kill your heroes, in effect. It very rarely happens on television, and it's one of our most potent tools.
The first time it happened with Matthew.
That's right.
I thought, well, it must be some mistake. He's gone to a submarine. He'll come back. He never did.
No, that's right. And you would imagine then that that will be the end of the show. But we keep managing to regenerate and take off where we take it.
And take us behind the scenes a little, if you will. What is it? What's most enjoyable for you, then playing Harry?
I think it's
What's
probably
it like on set?
Well, we have a lot of fun. I mean, it's very serious subjects and often rather grisly. So to counteract that, we make light of it. So we do have a lot of fun doing it. But it's great to be involved in something that seems pertinent, although we do make it all up. It's not a documentary. It's not supposed to be a factual representation of life within the security services.
Is it anything like the real thing?
I would imagine not, but who knows? We did actually have an ex-MI5 officer who was technical advisor on the first series, but everything I asked him, he'd say to me, I'm afraid that's an official secret.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I get to read the news on this one, actually, for the first time. Yeah. Checking out the scripts, they are pretty, I mean, we were tinkering with them, but they're pretty...
One last thing, lovely to see you, Peter. One last thing, any chance Keeley Hawes might come back from exile one day?
We live in hope.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Lovely to see you, and keep up the good work. We'll be watching.
Thank you.
Keep the nation safe.
It's on, yes. It's on tonight, BBC One at 9 o'clock.
Coming up in just a moment, the model, actress and now